with the possible exception of Said Nursi, Badiou Zaman of Turkey. But Iqbal it was who said, and I now have to quote him again in Urdu, and they can't take it away from him. You can't do it. It's there. खुल गए याजूज और माजूज के लश्कर तमाम. Some of you will say, oh, we heard this before, you know, but we never thought about it. खुल गए याजूज और माजूज के लश्कर तमाम. All the forces of Gog and Magog have now been released. It's not just that they have been released from behind the barrier built by Zulkarnain in Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran. More than that. They've all been released and they've all spread out over the world. Kul gaye Ya'juj or Ma'juj ke lashkar tamam. All. So this is the world order of Gog and Magog. That is what Iqbal is saying. Chashme Muslim dekhle tafsir harfi yansilu. Now Muslims, you better turn your eyes, direct your attention to the word yansilun. Direct your attention to the word yansilun. Only one scholar in the whole world of Islam, only one, not only recognized it, but proclaimed it. But he said it to his countrymen. In English to the British Crown and to the Western world, he never spoke a word. He was totally silent on this side. Iqbal was totally silent on this side. Nothing in his scholarly writings. But in Urdu, to his countrymen, he's speaking with his heart. What is this word yansilun? He's referring to the Quran. That's what he's doing. Allah is speaking in the Quran about Gog and Magog, who are not some strange creatures from Mars or Venus, or living somewhere deep in the interior of the earth. No, they're human beings. Stop that nonsense. Allah is speaking about Gog and Magog, who have PhDs in oppression. In the Ya'juj wa Ma'juj mufsiduna fil ard. That is Surah Al-Kahf. My book here is on Surah Al-Kahf. You can have the time, you just read it. It's an Islamic view of Gog and Magog in the modern world. Gog and Magog are people created by Allah, and He gave them a power that is irresistible, and they use that power to oppress. So Zulkarnain built a barrier, and to use the language of chess, he checkmated them. He didn't destroy them. He checkmated them, means they're harmless. And you know, when Allah said Qarnain, Zulkarnain, Qarn can mean a horn, or Qarn can mean an age. Which one? It doesn't mean horn here. Because every time Allah uses the word Qarn in the Quran, He refers to an age. So Surah Al-Kahf is speaking about Zulkarnain, who will manifest power on two occasions. And on two occasions he's going to checkmate Gog and Magog. The first time he did it by building a barrier. And we know where it was located. From the Quran, do your homework. Where is my book? Yes, this one. It was there in the Caucasus Mountains, the Black Sea. And Crimea commands the Black Sea. If you control Crimea, you control the Black Sea. Did you hear that? This is the first time. And Allah is saying there's a second time. Satu lagi. Ek baar aur. That power is going to re-emerge in that part of the world. And that power is going to do the same thing it did the first time. It's going to checkmate them, and NATO can do nothing to stop it. Praise be to Allah, who allowed us to understand the Quran. They're going to be checkmated as they were the first time. Iqbal is speaking about that Gog and Magog. And in Surah Al-Anbiya, there are 2 verses which end with the word yansilun. Chashme Muslim dekhli tafsir harfi yansilun. In Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah says, وَحَرَامٌ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. Allah speaks of a town which He destroyed. And having destroyed that town, He expelled the people. And then placed a ban on them that they can never return to reclaim that town as their own. Hatta, until when? Hatta إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج. Until Gog and Magog are released. Futihat, Fataha, to open. Until Fatiha, Surah Al-Fatiha, opening. Futihat, until Gog and Magog are released. وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. And after being released, they spread out in all directions, taking control of the world in the world order of Gog and Magog. Iqbal recognized it. Iqbal understood that Gog and Magog were released. Iqbal understood that we have lost the Khilafah because of Gog and Magog. And Iqbal knew that the Khilafah cannot be restored so long as Gog and Magog control the world. He knew it. And he said it. But he said it to his people in Urdu. But to the rest of the world, he spoke something else. Regretfully so. Regretfully so. And now we tread very carefully because we want to show the utmost respect for Iqbal. When he spoke to the English-educated people, and the British government was listening, when he spoke and wrote in English, his response was different, regrettably so. What he should have said, it's not possible for us to restore the Khilafah state now. I can't tell you why, but it's not possible. But it will be possible later, so don't give up. Do not surrender the Khilafah state. If he had said that, the world of Islam would have understood this is a great scholar talking. He knows what he's saying. It is not possible now, at this time, to restore the Khilafah state. But circumstances are going to change, and there is a tomorrow which is coming, when you will be able to struggle to restore the Khilafah state. So do not surrender the Khilafah state. That is all he had to do, but he did not do it. On the contrary, he said that, where is it? Here we are. That when the Khilafah was abolished by Mustafa Kemal in 1924, the Khilafah state was abolished. The Turkish Grand National Assembly issued a declaration. And I read for you from my book, The Caliphate, the Hijaz, and the Saudi Wahhabi Nation State. The Khalifa is deposed. The office of the Khilafah is abolished, since the Khilafah is essentially comprised in the meaning and significance of the words government as Hukuma and Republic, Jumhuriyah. In other words, what we now have in Turkey, the secular Republic of Turkey, this is the Khilafah. This is a new form of the Khilafah state. And Iqbal responded by saying, yes, they are correct. And in order for us to adjust, it's going to break your heart now, I know. It's going to break your heart. In order for us to adjust to this new world of the Republican state, which is an adequate substitute for the Khilafah, according to the Iqbal, it is necessary for us to engage in something called reconstruction of religious thought in Islam. No. 1,000 times no, Iqbal. With all due respect for you, there is no need to reconstruct religious thought in Islam. The Khilafah state will not be surrendered. And the modern Republican state is not and can never be a substitute for the Khilafah. A very good book written by a Pakistani scholar with an enormous amount of research for a PhD thesis, Naeem Qureshi, and I want his book to be shown on this video, Pan-Islam in British Indian Politics, Pan-Islam in British Indian Politics, a study of the Khilafat movement 1918 to 1924, the Khilafat movement of India. He's done an enormous amount of research, and I commend him for this work. Many times I differ with his analysis, but the research work is important. The Muslims of India did not want to surrender the Khilafah. No. There were 4 centers of the world of Islam which had to respond to Mustafa Kemal. The first, of course, was the ulama of Turkey. The second was Egypt with Al-Azhar University. The third was Arabia, the jihads with Makkah and Medina. And the fourth was Muslim India. These are the 4 most important parts of the world of Islam intellectually. And out of these 4, the one which distinguished itself with the most powerful response of all was India. Muslim India. Muslim India responded with the Khilafat movement. We do not have the time to analyze the weaknesses in the Khilafat movement, and there were significant weaknesses. Yes. Recognizing the Ottoman Khilafah as a valid Khilafah, and that is our Khalifa. Excuse me, sir, is this your Islam? Where the Khilafah state could take Christian boys and convert them to Islam by force? And if a Christian boy refused to become Muslim, you kill him? Is that your Islam? It's not mine. And you pledge your allegiance to the Ottoman Islamic Khilafah? And that these Christian boys will now become the Janissaries, they're trained to become the elite fighting force of the Ottoman Empire. And so when the Ottoman army goes to wage a bogus jihad on the Orthodox Christians, the heart of the fighting force will be their own sons, to add fuel to the fire. And when you wage your bogus jihad on the innocent Orthodox Christians and you defeat them, you seize their women and make them slaves. Is that your Islam? It's not mine. It's not mine. And you never get married. The Ottoman Sultan and Khalifa never married. No, he had a stable full of women, like you have a stable filled with horses.